Across the stars through your speakers, this is Intergalactic Insider. Greetings and salutations, esteemed denizens of the cosmos. It's your favorite intergalactic news anchor, Felix Andromeda, here to bring you another exhilarating episode of Intergalactic Insider. Whether you're just waking up on Kepler 62F, enjoying a midday snack in the Alpha Centauri system, or sipping on some cosmic cocktails at the restaurant at the end of time, we've got the most tantalizing tidbits and mind-boggling news bites from across the universe. So buckle up your safety harnesses and fasten your tinfoil hats as we dive headfirst into the interstellar information superhighway. On today's agenda, we've got a veritable smorgasbord of cosmic delights for you to feast upon. First up, we'll be exploring the intricate art of xenolingual communication. Ever wondered how our intrepid interstellar ambassadors managed to exchange pleasantries with a seven-tentacled methane-breathing life form? Stay tuned as we unravel the secrets behind understanding and communicating with completely alien languages. Next, we'll be warping over to the world of intergalactic literature, where I'll be sitting down with the illustrious president of the Intergalactic Book Club to discuss their must-read picks. From heart-wrenching space operas to page-turning galactic thrillers, you won't want to miss out on these stellar reads. After that, we'll be taking a sobering look at the scourge of interstellar substance abuse. Join us as we visit a trailblazing planetary society that has taken the fight against dangerous drugs to bold new frontiers. Their innovative approach might just hold the key to a brighter, cleaner future for all sentient beings. And finally, we'll wrap up this cosmic cocktail with a healthy dose of existential intrigue. We've all heard whispers of the most isolated planet in the entire universe. But why has it eluded contact from every corner of creation? Prepare to have your interstellar socks knocked off as we delve into the mysteries and strange phenomena surrounding this celestial enigma. But wait, there's more. Before we blast off into hyperspace, we'll be bringing you an intergalactic weather report you won't want to miss. From ion storms on Betelgeuse 7 to nebulaic ne'er-do-wells in the Orion Arm, we've got you covered for all your cosmic commuting needs. So strap in, space cadets, and let's boldly go where no podcast has gone before on this week's Edge of Your Warp Drive seat episode of Intergalactic Insider. Greetings, intrepid interstellar explorers. Welcome to our first stop on today's cosmic cruise, a mind-expanding excursion into the fascinating world of xenolingual communication. Ever wondered how our fearless diplomats and intrepid spacefarers managed to exchange more than just pleasantries with the myriad of alien life forms scattered across the cosmos? Well, wonder no longer. I'm delighted to be joined by two esteemed experts on this truly out-of-this-world subject. Firstly, let me introduce Dr. Lana Parallax, a renowned xenolinguist and head of the Department of Alien Lexicography at the prestigious University of Alpha Centauri. Greetings, Dr. Parallax.
Greetings, Felix. It's an honor to be here discussing my passion for all things alien and linguistic.
And joining us from the other side of the cosmic conference call, we have Captain Zoran Veris, a seasoned interstellar diplomat with over 200 galactic treaties under his belt. Salutations, Captain Veris.
Greetings to you too, Felix. It's a pleasure to be here discussing the art of interspecies communication.
Excellent. Now, let's warp right into it. Dr. Parallax, can you give us an overview of how humanity first began deciphering alien languages?
Certainly. The dawn of xenolingual communication as we know it today began in the late 21st century when SETI, Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence, finally received their first confirmed signal from an intelligent extraterrestrial civilization.
And that signal was?
Well, Felix, as it turns out, the first interstellar transmission we ever decoded was a reality cooking show hosted by a race of telepathic, gas giant dwelling beings from the Alpha Quadrant. Suffice to say, it took quite some time for us to decipher their culinary language.
Well, I suppose one man's trash is another civilization's treasure. Speaking of treasures, Captain Varus. Can you share with our listeners a particularly challenging instance where mastering an alien tongue saved the day?
Oh, without a doubt, it would have to be my encounter with the Zilthonian delegation on Rigel 7. You see, in their culture, the number 127 is considered extremely unlucky, akin to our superstitions surrounding the number 13.
Intriguing. And how did your linguistic prowess save the day?
Well, during our negotiations, I had inadvertently set out 127 refreshment cubes for the Zilthonian delegates. Fortunately, thanks to my extensive study of their language and customs, I was able to catch my faux pas at the last moment and quickly removed one cube before any offense could be taken.
Wow. Talk about a close encounter of the third kind. Dr. Parallax, what sort of technological advancements have been instrumental in bridging these interspecies communication barriers?
Oh, there have been countless breakthroughs over the centuries, but one that immediately springs to mind is the invention of the Universal Translation Matrix, or UTM for short. Developed by Dr. Yasmin Nayar, back in 2183, this remarkable device utilizes quantum entanglement and advanced machine learning algorithms to almost instantaneously translate any known language with near-perfect accuracy.
Incredible. And how do these devices work when encountering previously undiscovered languages?
That's where things get really interesting, Felix. The UTM employs a combination of pattern recognition and contextual analysis to construct a rudimentary understanding of the new language. It then begins to refine its translations in real time as it receives more input, effectively learning the language as we speak.
Pardon the pun, Dr. Parallax.
My apologies for that unintended bit of wordplay, Felix.
Not at all. We here at Intergalactic Insider always appreciate a good language-related pun. I'm receiving breaking news from our interstellar affiliates at the Intergalactic Science Coalition. It appears that a team of xenolinguists on Kepler-62f has just decoded the first complete sentence from the indigenous aquatic life forms. And, believe it or not, the translation reads, "Take me to your watering hole."
Well, I guess that's one small sip for mankind and one giant gulp for interspecies relations.
Absolutely. And on that refreshingly punny note, we must unfortunately wrap up our exploration of xenolingual communication. But fear not, intrepid listeners. There's still plenty more cosmic content to come in this action-packed episode of Intergalactic Insider. Coming up next, we'll be blasting off to the world of interstellar literature as we sit down with the illustrious president of the Intergalactic Book Club for a sneak peek at their must-read picks. Don't miss out on these out-of-this-world recommendations, folks. It's Intergalactic Insider, and we'll be right back. Greetings once again, intrepid listeners. Welcome back to Intergalactic Insider, your weekly dose of all things out of this world. I'm your host, Felix Andromeda, and we're about to boldly go where few podcasts have gone before, straight into the heart of interstellar literature. Joining us now is none other than the illustrious president of the Intergalactic Book Club, Dr. Indigo Nebula Sky. Greetings, Dr. Nebula Sky, and thank you for taking a break from your busy galactic reading schedule to join us today.
Greetings, Felix. It's an absolute pleasure to be here. I must say, I'm quite the fan of Intergalactic Insider. And please call me Indigo. Formalities tend to get a bit stuffy out here in the cosmos.
Thank you, Indigo, and don't worry, we prefer our podcasts served with a healthy dose of informality here at Intergalactic Insider. Now, without further ado, let's dive right into the cosmic literary landscape. What are some of the hottest interstellar reads that our listeners simply must add to their galactic bookshelves?
Oh, there are so many fantastic titles to choose from this quarter, Felix. But if I had to narrow it down, I'd say you absolutely cannot miss out on The Quantum Entanglement of Hearts by the up-and-coming Alpha Centaurian author Zeta 7.
Ooh, that title alone has me intrigued. Care to give us a brief synopsis?
Of course. The Quantum Entanglement of Hearts is a beautifully written, heart-wrenching romance between a time-traveling human astrophysicist and a sentient black hole. It's an exploration of love, loss, and the fabric of space-time itself. I must warn you, though, have some interstellar tissues handy for this one.
Sounds like it's bound to leave a singularity-sized hole in our hearts. Well done, Indigo. I see what you did there. Moving on, do you have any other intergalactic page-turners you'd recommend?
Absolutely. Another must-read for this quarter is The Celestial Conspiracy by the award-winning Centaurian author Alpha 9. This edge-of-your-starship thriller follows a rogue band of interstellar private eyes as they uncover a sinister plot to manipulate the outcome of the upcoming Galactic Senate elections. It's packed with twists and turns that will keep you guessing until the very end.
Intrigue on an intergalactic scale. I love it. Now, Indigo, we can't talk about interstellar literature without mentioning the latest craze sweeping the cosmos, alien fan fiction. What are your thoughts on this burgeoning literary phenomenon?
Ah, yes, xenofiction, as it's been so aptly coined. While I must admit that the quality of these stories can be quite variable, I do applaud the ingenuity and creativity shown by the authors. After all, some of the greatest works of literature throughout history have emerged from humble fan fiction beginnings.
A fair point indeed. Speaking of humble beginnings, we're afraid that our time together on this episode of Intergalactic Insider is drawing to a close. But before you warp off into the literary cosmos, Indigo, do you have any final words of interstellar wisdom for our aspiring intergalactic authors out there?
Yes, Felix, and I believe this advice holds true across the entirety of the cosmic spectrum. Always remember to be true to yourself and to never let anyone or anything extinguish the burning supernova of creativity that resides within your celestial soul.
Well said, Indigo. A truly stellar note to end on. Once again, thank you so much for joining us today on Intergalactic Insider. I'm sure our listeners have already set their warp drives to bookstore to pick up some of these cosmic classics. And speaking of interstellar literature, we're just receiving word that the much-anticipated sequel to last year's smash hit the Dyson Sphere of Secrets has just been announced. Titled The Fermi Paradox Files, this thrilling follow-up promises even more intergalactic intrigue and mind-bending cosmological conundrums. Stay tuned for more updates as they become available, folks. And on that cliffhanger of a note, we must reluctantly bid adieu to our whirlwind tour through the cosmic literary landscape. But fear not, intrepid listeners, Intergalactic Insider is far from finished. Up next, we'll be delving into the shadowy world of interstellar drug trafficking and the brave souls fighting back against this cosmic scourge. Don't miss a moment of this eye-opening exposé. It's Intergalactic Insider, and we'll see you in 3, 2, 1. Greetings, interstellar sleuths. I'm your celestial detective, Felix Andromeda, and welcome back to another thrilling installment of Intergalactic Insider. In today's action-packed episode, we'll be delving deep into the darker side of our vast cosmic playground as we uncover the latest interstellar intrigues and extraterrestrial escapades. Speaking of intergalactic illicit dealings, in this segment, we're turning our quantum-enhanced investigative lenses towards one of the most insidious scourges plaguing our cosmic community, the interstellar drug trade. Joining us today to shed some much-needed light on this shadowy subject matter are two esteemed experts in their respective fields. Please give a warm intergalactic welcome to Dr. Stella Nova, renowned xenopsychologist and addiction specialist and interstellar marshal, Zane, Star Sheriff Alpha Centurion, who's been at the forefront of the galactic war on drugs for decades. Dr. Nova, Marshal Alpha Centurion, thank you both so much for taking time out of your busy interstellar schedules to join us here today on Intergalactic Insider. I know our listeners are positively chomping at the ion thrusters to hear your insights and expertise on this pressing cosmic conundrum.
Thank you, Felix. It's always a pleasure to be here, and I'm honored to have the opportunity to shed some light on this often overlooked aspect of intergalactic health and well-being.
Yeah, what the good doctor said. Thank you for having us, Felix. Let's get these cosmic cretins off our star lanes once and for all.
Well said, Marshal Alpha Centurion. Let's start off with the basics for our listeners who may not be as well versed in the world of intergalactic narcotics. Dr. Nova, could you please give us a brief overview of the most common types of drugs that are currently plaguing our cosmic corners?
Of course, Felix. In general, interstellar narcotics can be broadly classified into three main categories based on their origins and effects: organic, synthetic, and exotic.
Organic, synthetic, and exotic. Those sound like the ingredients for a cosmic cocktail party gone wrong. Dr. Nova, could you please elaborate on each of these categories for our listeners?
Absolutely, Felix. Organic drugs are derived from naturally occurring compounds found on various planets and moons throughout the galaxy. Some examples include starshine, a highly addictive hallucinogen harvested from the psychedelic mushroom forests of Zeta Reticuli Prime, and nebula nectar, a potent euphoric sap extracted from the rare, singing nebulan flower.
Sounds trippy, both figuratively and literally. What about synthetic drugs?
Synthetic narcotics, as their name implies, are artificially created in clandestine laboratories scattered across the cosmos. These substances are often designed to mimic the effects of organic drugs, but with far more potent and unpredictable results. One such example is quantum quicksilver, a synthetic stimulant that promises users heightened reflexes and cognitive abilities for short periods, but can also lead to severe physiological and psychological addiction.
That doesn't sound like a trip I'd want to take. And what about this third category? Exotic drugs?
Exotic narcotics are the most rare, expensive, and often the most dangerous of the bunch. These substances are typically harvested from exotic life forms or extra-dimensional sources, and can produce a wide range of bizarre and sometimes lethal effects on users. One infamous example is dark matter dust, a glittering, addictive powder derived from the essence of collapsed stars, which grants its users temporary telekinetic abilities, but carries the high risk of inducing spontaneous molecular combustion.
Now that's one cosmic trip I think we'd all like to avoid. Speaking of trips, let's bring in our resident interstellar lawman, Marshal Zane Star Sheriff, Alpha Centurion. Marshal, with so many different types of drugs and their various sources, what are some of the most common intergalactic smuggling routes and methods that you and your team have encountered in your pursuit of these cosmic criminals?
Well, Felix, these interstellar scoundrels are as cunning as they come. Over my decades on the space beat, I've seen them try to sneak their illicit wares past us, using every trick in the galactic playbook, and then some. Some of their favorite methods include asteroid mules. Smugglers will often hide their contraband inside hollowed-out asteroids, or even disguise their ships as harmless space rocks, hoping to fly under our radar, both figuratively and literally, or wormhole waltzing. Another sneaky tactic is to use uncharted wormholes or subspace tunnels to zip their cargo across the cosmos, hoping to evade conventional scanners and patrols. And then there is organic smuggling. And as gross as it sounds, we've even busted some particularly slimy smugglers who've tried to store their stash inside living creatures, either unsuspecting or less than willing participants.
I think our listeners and I all just felt a collective chill run down our spines, Marshal. Now, let's say you and your team manage to apprehend these intergalactic drug lords. What happens next? Are there interstellar prisons or rehabilitation programs in place to deal with these offenders?
Well, Felix, that depends on the severity of their crimes and the jurisdiction in which they're apprehended. For lesser offenses or first-time offenders, many planets and star systems have implemented mandatory rehabilitation programs, like the one Dr. Nova here runs on Alpha Centauri Prime. But for the real scum of the cosmos, the ones trafficking in the most dangerous and deadly of these extraterrestrial narcotics, well, let's just say they can expect a long, cold stay at one of our maximum security interstellar penitentiaries.
Well, it sounds like you've got the situation under control, Marshall. Speaking of rehabilitation, Dr. Nova, could you please tell us a bit more about your work with recovering intergalactic drug addicts? What are some of the unique challenges and successes you've encountered while helping these individuals get their cosmic lives back on track?
Certainly, Felix. As Marshal Alpha Centurion mentioned, my team and I operate one of the premier xeno-addiction treatment centers here on Alpha Centauri Prime. One of the most significant challenges we face is the sheer diversity of species that pass through our doors, from carbon-based humanoids like ourselves to silicon-based crystalline beings and even sentient energy beings. Each species has unique physiological, psychological, and even metaphysical needs that must be taken into account when designing individualized treatment plans.
That sounds like an intergalactic-sized challenge in itself. What about success stories? Any standout patients you've helped to kick their cosmic drug habits and go on to lead fulfilling, productive lives among the stars?
Oh, there are far too many to count, Felix. But if I had to choose one particular patient that comes to mind, it would be a young Zeta Reticulan named Zerk-Tik. Zerk-Tik was brought to us in critical condition, having overdosed on a lethal cocktail of starshine and quantum quicksilver. Our team worked tirelessly to stabilize him, and then began the long, arduous process of weaning his body off these powerful narcotics.
And what happened next, Dr. Nova?
Well, Felix, Zerk-Tik's road to recovery was far from easy. He suffered through months of withdrawal symptoms and intense psychological counseling as we helped him confront the traumas that had led him down this dark path in the first place. But I am pleased to say that, thanks to his indomitable spirit and the unwavering support of our dedicated rehabilitation team, Zerk-Tik is now 2 stellar cycles sober and has even gone on to become a staunch advocate against intergalactic drug use.
That's fantastic news, Dr. Nova. It's stories like these that remind us all of the power of second chances and the resilience of the interstellar spirit. Speaking of stellar cycles, it seems we are running out of time on this week's episode of Intergalactic Insider. Before we sign off, do either of our esteemed guests have any parting words of wisdom or advice for our listeners out there in the vast cosmos?
Well, Felix, I'll keep it short and sweet. Stay away from these intergalactic drugs, you hear? They may promise you the stars, but they'll take away your whole damn galaxy. And remember, no matter how far or how fast you run, the long arm of the galactic law will always find you.
As eloquent and intimidating as ever, Marshal Alpha Centurion. Dr. Nova, any closing thoughts from a more therapeutic perspective?
Thank you for having me on the show, Felix. My advice to our listeners couldn't be simpler. Remember that you are all stardust and cosmic miracles in your own right. You don't need any synthetic substances to make you shine a brighter or feel more connected to the vast tapestry of the universe. If you or someone you care about is struggling with intergalactic drug addiction, please know that help is out there, and it's never too late to reach for the stars, metaphorically speaking, of course.
Wise words indeed, Dr. Nova. Remember, adventurers, the universe is vast and full of wonder, but it's up to each and every one of us to ensure that our corner of the cosmos remains safe, healthy, and most importantly, drug-free. Greetings, intrepid explorers of the unknown. We're now entering the fourth and most chillingly captivating segment of our weekly intergalactic odyssey. Buckle up your metaphorical safety belts as we're about to embark on a hair-raising journey into the darkest corners of the cosmos. Metaphorically speaking, of course. We'll be unraveling the sinister secrets shrouding one of the most enigmatic, isolated planets in all of known space. A desolate world so remote and mysterious that even our most advanced interstellar explorers have yet to set foot upon its elusive surface. Ladies and gentlemen, buckle up your imagination seatbelts as we embark on a nail-biting, edge-of-your-spacecraft investigation into the most isolated planet in the universe. The one, the only, XYZ9876. Sorry about that last part, folks. Just trying to set the mood. But in all seriousness, XYZ9876 has perplexed astrophysicists, xenobiologists, and interstellar conspiracy theorists alike for centuries. So why is this seemingly unassuming planet so darn difficult to reach? And more importantly, what, or who, could be lurking in its uncharted depths? To shed some light on these cosmic conundrums, we're joined by two of the universe's foremost experts on all things extraterrestrial and esoteric. First up, please welcome Dr. Stella Lumina, a renowned astrophysicist from the Galactic Institute of Exoplanetary Research and author of the seminal work, The Unreachable Stars, a study in interstellar isolation. Greetings, Dr. Lumina.
Greetings, Felix. It's an honor to be here today to discuss one of the most intriguing unsolved mysteries in astrophysics.
We're honored to have you with us, Dr. Lumina. And joining her on this cosmic conundrum is none other than Professor Ezekiel E.Z. Zodiac, a world-renowned interstellar archaeologist and cryptozoologist from the Stellar Academy of Extraterrestrial Exploration. He's also the best-selling author of such groundbreaking works as The Lost Civilizations of Alpha Centauri and The Great Galactic Kraken Conspiracy. Welcome to the show, Professor Zodiac.
Thanks for having me, Felix. I've been dying to dive into the deep, dark secrets of XYZ9876 for decades. Pun intended.
Well, we're thrilled to have both of you here today to help us unravel this cosmic conundrum. Dr. Lumina, let's start with the cold, hard facts, or rather, the lack thereof. From a purely astrophysical standpoint, what do we know about XYZ9876?
As you mentioned, XYZ9876 is an exoplanet located in a remote and largely uncharted region of the cosmos. Based on our long-range observations, it appears to be a terrestrial planet, meaning it's composed primarily of rocky materials, rather than gases, like our own dear Neptune. Its orbit around its star, a G-type yellow dwarf similar to our own Sun, puts it squarely within the habitable zone, the Goldilocks region where liquid water could theoretically exist on its surface.
Fascinating. And yet, despite its seemingly hospitable conditions, we've never managed to send a single probe or manned mission to the surface of XYZ9876. Dr. Lumina, what invisible barrier is preventing us from reaching this elusive world?
That, Felix, is the million-credit question. We've detected no signs of a natural obstacle or celestial phenomenon that would explain our inability to penetrate the space surrounding XYZ9876. It's as if an unseen force field were actively repelling any and all attempts at closer observation or exploration.
An unseen force field. Professor Zodiac, your ears must be tingling with the possibility of some kind of advanced extraterrestrial technology at play here. What's your take on this cosmic conundrum?
Felix, you know me too well. While Dr. Lumina's astrophysical analysis is undoubtedly spot on, I can't help but entertain the idea that we might be dealing with something, or rather someone, far more intelligent and advanced than ourselves.
You mean to say you believe there could be an intelligent, possibly hostile alien civilization behind this cosmic roadblock?
Stranger things have happened in the vastness of space, my friend. Just think about it. What if XYZ9876 is home to a race of hyper-advanced beings who simply don't want us nosy humans poking our grubby little space probes into their business?
Well, I suppose that would certainly explain the lack of alien selfies on Galactogram. But in all seriousness, folks, we're delving deep into the realm of speculation here. Dr. Lumina, as a scientist, how do you respond to Professor Zodiac's colorful hypothesis?
While I can appreciate the appeal of such an otherworldly explanation, we must always adhere to the scientific method and rely on empirical evidence rather than baseless conjecture. Until we have concrete proof of any advanced alien civilization or technology at work here, it's simply irresponsible to perpetuate such outlandish theories.
Well, looks like we've got ourselves a classic case of science versus speculation. Professor Zodiac, care to defend your interstellar intrigue?
Of course, Felix. As the great Carl Sagan once said, absence of evidence is not evidence of absence. Just because we haven't yet found definitive proof of an advanced alien civilization lurking in the shadows of XYZ 9876 doesn't mean they're not out there, or rather, in there.
Well said, Professor Zodiac, well said. And on that cliffhanger note, pun intended once again, we must unfortunately bring this thrilling and thought-provoking segment of Intergalactic Insider to a close. Thank you so much, Dr. Stella Lumina and Professor Ezekiel Zodiac, for joining us today and shedding some much-needed starlight on the cosmic conundrum of XYZ 9876. That concludes our thrilling and chilling exploration of XYZ 9876 on this week's episode of Intergalactic Insider. It's time for our weekly cosmic forecast. Welcome back, Intergalactic Explorers. We're almost at the end of our thrilling journey through this week's episode of Intergalactic Insider. But before we wrap things up, let's check in with our resident interstellar meteorologist, Cora Celestia, for the latest galactic weather updates. Cora, what's the cosmic forecast looking like today?
Greetings, Felix, and greetings to all you intrepid spacefarers out there. Today's galactic weather report is brought to you by hyperdrive umbrellas, because even in warp speed, you never know when a rogue nebula might rain on your parade.
Thanks for that stellar sponsorship, Cora. Let's dive right into the forecast. What do we have in store for Earth?
Well, Felix, if you're planning any outdoor activities on Earth today, make sure to pack your UV-blocking spacesuits and a trusty force field parasol. The solar radiation levels are expected to be off the charts, with a 100% chance of ionizing rays. It's going to be a real scorcher out there, so remember to hydrate, 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 preferably with some refreshing Nebula Nectar energy drink.
Nebular Nectar? Is that the new sponsor?
It sure is, Felix. And speaking of scorchers, let's turn our attention to Kepler 62F, where the temperatures are expected to be positively Venusian. Highs will reach a sizzling 800 Kelvin, so if you're planning a beach vacation there, I'd highly recommend packing your heat-resistant swimsuits and an industrial-grade portable air conditioner.
Sounds like a real blast. Anywhere else we should avoid today?
Well, if you're looking to cool off after that Kepler 62F vacation, I'd steer clear of Ogle 2005 BLG. This icy exoplanet is experiencing its once-in-a-millennium supernova winter, with temperatures dipping as low as -400 Kelvin. You'll need more than just a light space scarf to brave those Arctic conditions.
I think I'll pass on both of those vacation spots, Cora. Thanks for the heads up. Pun intended.
My pleasure, Felix. And remember, no matter what the cosmic weather throws at you, always keep your chin up and your force field helmet securely fastened. This has been Cora Celestia with Intergalactic Insider's Galactic Weather Report, brought to you by Hyperdrive Umbrellas and Nebula Nectar Energy Drink, quenching your thirst for adventure.
And that about wraps up this week's episode of Intergalactic Insider. A special thank you to our esteemed guests for keeping us informed and entertained throughout the hour. And of course, a big thank you to all of you, our loyal listeners, for joining us on this wild cosmic ride. Let's leave you with one final thought-provoking question. In a universe as vast and unpredictable as our own, what other celestial secrets and weather patterns await discovery? Tune in next week as we continue our intergalactic journey of discovery on Intergalactic Insider. Until then, this is your cosmic commentator, Felix Andromeda, signing off with a reminder to always look up. You never know what stellar surprises might be waiting for you.